Hey everybody! So this is a sort of introduction to this channel where I'm going to be talking about this theory that I've seen a lot of recently. See, I've started to realise that there's something I've never really questioned. I mean, I've just sort of accepted it my whole life. I was taught it in school as like one of the first things ever, but recently I've seen some videos on YouTube. Some videos that have left me wondering. They bring up questions that I can't seem to answer and I just cannot stop watching them. And I've started to think,
Olivia, what are you doing in here?
making a video, Rose.
You sure you're not just talking to yourself?
No, look, do you mind? You've interrupted me.
Hey, sorry.
Right. And I started to think,
Wait a minute, do you mean like for YouTube?
yes,
Oh, what's it about?
it's something I've seen on the internet recently.
What thing?
Look, Rose, can I tell you later? I'm in the middle of doing it.
Fine.
I have to edit that out. Okay. So, I started to think, how do I actually know that 1 plus 1 is 2? I mean, we're all taught it from an early age, but I've never actually seen it proven. Nobody's ever proven that 1 plus 1 is what they say it is. We all just assume it because we're told it. And that is just what I know so far. I'm really excited to see what else there is to know, and I want this channel to be a sort of vlog documenting my journey, as it were.
Olivia,
What?
food's arrived.
Oh, fantastic. Hey guys!
Hey.
Hey,
Well, I did it.
did what?
You don't mean?
Yep.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Wait, no, what are we talking about?
Like she started some YouTube channel where she talks about some conspiracy theory.
Hey, it's not a conspiracy theory. There's actual evidence.
Right.
What's it about?
Well, you know how in maths everything is based off the idea that 1 and 1 is 2?
Yeah.
Well, actually, that is not true. 1 plus 1 is 3.
Wait, what? You don't seriously think?
No, I don't think she does.
No, guys, it's true. Listen, I thought it was as funny as you at first, but then I watched this great video series by this girl called Madeline Sampson. She explains it really well.
Right.
She's not like this crazed idiot. Her videos are really well presented and use actual facts. You guys should watch them.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hey, it's nearly 12. We should get going.
Oh, it's linear algebra, isn't it?
Yeah, afraid so.
Damn it.
Just think about it and watch those videos.
All right.
Hey everyone, my first update here. I think it's incredible how whenever I tell people about this, they immediately assume I'm joking and don't listen. I don't get it. How could this be a joke? Is it really so impossible for people to have different opinions? But whatever. Them laughing at me is not going to put me off. I'm going to try and get through to them.
Yeah, don't let them put you off.
Thank you. My first comment.
I don't understand a word that Harrington is saying.
I can help explain it if you need.
Thanks.
Phoebe, does M help you a lot with maths?
Well, a bit. I mean, I should have never taken it as a discovery.
So you're just taking everything from her?
Well, yeah, her and Harrington, I mean, is that a problem? I just don't understand a word of this.
Then how come you were so sure that 1 and 1 was 2?
Because that's bloody simple.
Look, why don't you try and find your own way in maths? You know, consider other possibilities from the one that you've been taught.
Olivia, that's not how it.
Maybe you don't understand because you realise there's something wrong with it. I'm sure you'd understand these. These are much more correct.
No, Olivia, let's just stop this before it goes any further. Okay, look, I have one thing, right? I have another thing. I put them together, and now I have two things. 1 plus 1 is 2. Magic, isn't it?
Yeah, but, well, how can I trust you? Well, not quite trust, but what are your qualifications?
I'm literally doing university maths here, I mean.
Yeah, but look, I'm sure the videos will make much more sense if you watch them. Just watch them, yeah?
Are you going to watch the videos?
Maybe.
Might be kind of funny, like.
I suppose. I mean, what's the harm?
Ah, Madeline's posted a new video. The 2 lie in the school system.
The fact is that our children have the great maths lie programmed into them from an early age. It's ruthless indoctrination, and it shows just how extensive the influence of the mathematicians is and the lengths that they are prepared to go in order to conceal the truth from us.
It's amazing what they'll do.
But it's not just them. The government have to be in on it too. I've been to countries all over the world, and I've never found one where the people have complete trust in their government. The fact that there are always people who think badly of their government is indicative of the widespread corruption that has taken hold. And do you know who is responsible for this?
The mathematicians!
That's right, the mathematical elite.
Wow, I never realised just how much control the mathematicians have over world governments.
You can never trust the government on anything. But you can trust me, Madeline Sampson, for I am championing free thought and different opinions in mathematics. Continue watching this video if you want some real maths.
Interesting. What's this one? Aubrey Jacobs. Haven't heard of her. They're trying to argue with toothers. Huh.
I don't know about you, but I'm so sick of trying to debate people who believe in 2. I mean, seriously, they don't show us any respect. If they don't show it to us, why should we show it to them?
Well, I don't know about that.
If they are too stupid to think for themselves, why should we do it for them? Just let them sit in the dark like the morons that they are.
Okay. What other stuff does she do? Wow. Perhaps not.
Hey, Olivia,
Yeah?
you want to tell me what those videos you're making are about now? You didn't actually tell me the other day.
Right. Well, I'm sort of making truth videos.
What? Truth videos? Like conspiracy stuff?
It's not a conspiracy. It's the truth about maths.
Math? Okay.
Don't you want to know what it actually is?
Not really.
But it's like a major thing. Seriously, it's revelatory.
No, I think I'll just leave you to it, Olivia.
Hey, Olivia.
Oh, hey, can I talk to you?
Yeah, sure. What is it?
I wanted to test something, ask you a few things.
Fine.
So, first, have you ever questioned that 1 + 1 = 2?
No.
See, you've never even questioned it.
Next question.
Okay, how do you know that it's 2?
But because it's the most basic thing in the world. It's like the first ever thing you learn in school.
Yes, see, they program it into you from an early age.
Olivia, literally everything in this textbook is based off of the fact that 1 + 1 is 2.
But that is a government textbook.
Why is that important?
The government control the school curriculum. They put their agenda into it.
What have you been watching?
They are clever. If you're not careful, you'll fall for all of their traps. They've been doing intricate plots for years.
Olivia, I hardly think the government or the university is going to make me into a zombie with matrices.
Are you seriously suggesting that we trust the government? They're idiots. Anyway, next question. Do you believe everything you hear?
Olivia.
No, really. Do you believe something just because it's nicely presented or because other people do? Remember, just because an idea is popular does not mean it's right.
Yes, that's true, but it also doesn't mean it's wrong either.
Next question. Ah, Phoebe, did you watch those videos?
Yeah, I did.
And?
I'm not sure. I'm just kind of confused now. I mean, those videos made me think about things I'd never thought about before.
Oh, good God.
So you realise it now?
Well, no. I mean, a lot of stuff I've learned here still does make sense, but I just can't get what those videos said out of my head.
Did you watch the videos, Em?
I sure did. Funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
I'm guessing you didn't really watch them then. I bet you just laughed at every point without really thinking about it.
Olivia, this isn't a topic worth thinking about.
It certainly is. Because like it or not, people like me exist. And we're not going to just shut up because you laugh at us. We're here to stay, and our voices will be heard.
Olivia, since when did you get so confrontational?
I'm confrontational. I'm not the one laughing at another person's beliefs.
Beliefs? This isn't a matter of opinion. These things are right and they're wrong. They're true or they're false.
Exactly. And it's true that 1 + 1 = 3.
One thing, two things. Ta-da!
Yes, but remember what I asked you?
About my qualifications. University maths, remember?
Yeah, but what did I say about your textbooks and the government?
Olivia, that doesn't matter. Look at what I'm showing you.
How can I trust what you're showing me if I can't trust you?
Well, what about your qualifications? What about those of that Madeline girl?
That doesn't matter. What matters is that we think with logic and free thought.
Yeah, but how can you trust her?
Because she speaks the truth.
I can't deal with this. Phoebe?
Yeah, all right.
They won't show it to us. Why should we show it to them? Let's see here. My latest video got, wow, 30,000 views. How did that happen? What did the comments say?
Great video. It's absolutely true. Don't let anyone persuade you otherwise.
It's great people like you who bring the truth to the people. Thanks for this.
Thanks for your support, and I promise I'll keep going.
What a load of rubbish. I cannot believe people fall for this.
Ah, my first troll comment.
I have a question. If it's all made up, then why is it so prevalent in school?
That's because the government is trying to indoctrinate you. I recommend you watch this video.
Ah, thanks.
This is complete nonsense. If 1 + 1 isn't 2, then how do you explain all the higher orders of maths like calculus?
That sort of stuff is your belief, not mine. Calculus and all that kind of stuff was made up by the mathematicians to cover up the lie at the heart of it all. Just because stuff looks smart doesn't mean it's real.
Thank you so much for helping to expose the math liars. We don't need their education.
Yes, we do not need their thought control.
If 1 + 1 being 2 is so obvious, then how come they need to teach it to us?
Very good question.
You people are evidence that the education system has failed. You could read your tweets as a stand-up comedy.
Yes, I suppose you're right. The education system failed to brainwash me. Clearly worked on you, though.
Genuinely, you people are beyond stupid. Do you even know anything about the subjects you're talking about?
Don't listen to this guy. He just hates having his beliefs questioned. If this is so ridiculous, how come people get so angry about it?
That's a good point.
They're defensive because they're afraid it might be true.
You really don't know what you're talking about here. Your section on economics was full of mistakes.
If there was a problem, it was probably your misunderstanding.
How much exactly do you know about economics?
I watched some YouTube videos on it. I think that's enough.
Your new video was great, really inspiring.
Thanks. It's odd, actually. That video seemed to blow up out of nowhere.
Well, that's probably because Madeline mentioned it in one of her new videos. That's how I found it anyway.
Did she? I haven't watched her newest video yet.
Yeah, see?
And now I'd like to point everyone to this great video by this girl called Olivia. It's part of a fascinating vlog series she does. She's a pretty new and unknown girl, so I'd recommend people go have a look and give her some support.
Wow, I can't believe I actually got mentioned in one of her videos. That is incredible. I must thank her and I must keep going. With so many people behind me, I know I'm in the right.
On another note, I know that Taylor Beaton has been gaining some attention in the forums lately. Whilst I would never infringe on anybody's freedom of speech, I think it's worth trying to keep a level head when reading some of her stuff. Not everything she says is shared by everyone.
Taylor Beaton? Never heard of her.
Okay, so I haven't had time to fully analyse everything, but I've made the most amazing discovery. Turns out Pythagoras didn't even exist.
Huh?
I know, really. Pythagoras is just another of many historical mathematicians made up as part of some great falsification of history.
What in the world?
And not just him. We already know that Fermat and Wiles were the same guy. He's just another figure I've uncovered to have been planted there by the mathematical elite's rewrite of history. Just think about it. Doesn't it just seem a bit too convenient that there's a guy with the same name as a mathematical theorem? I think with a bit of digging, it might be possible that loads of these Greek pioneers didn't actually exist.
Okay, I think that's enough of that. I think I'll stick to YouTube.
Hey, Olivia, are you in there?
Yeah?
Listen, I was thinking, I know I said I didn't really care what conspiracy stuff you were into, but I've changed my mind. What's it about?
Well, to put it bluntly, 1 + 1 is 3.
What?
It's true.
What's that you're looking at? OOTF.
113 forum.
What? Is this for real?
It certainly is.
Pythagoras didn't exist. This is a joke.
Okay, that one's a bit extreme, but the rest of it is...
No, this is some troll website. I've seen joke communities like this on Reddit.
No, it's not a joke.
Sure, Olivia. It's quite funny though.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
I thought you'd divide first and then reduce the power.
No, other way round.
But it's like that when we're differentiating.
No, see, when differentiating, it's...
Look at the 2 sheep. arguing amongst themselves. You don't know what you really think. Say, Phoebe, have you been reading more about, 1 + 1 is 3?
Well, yeah, a bit. But I've also been talking to Em a lot, and she's explained some things to me.
Phoebe, you shouldn't listen to just anyone. You should listen to people who know what they're talking about.
But surely,
I've had enough of this. Let's just settle this, all right? You two are coming with me. We're going to see Herring.
Who?
Harrington, our maths lecturer.
Oh, we're going to see a maths lecturer. Oh, I wonder what she'll have to say.
Hey, Herring.
Yes, Emily?
I need help explaining something.
Of course, what is it?
Can you explain to Olivia here that 1 + 1 is 2?
What?
She doesn't think that 1 + 1 is 2. She thinks it's 3.
Well, it is.
Okay. How can I explain something so simple? Olivia, is it? Do you take a math?
No.
Did you take A-level maths?
No, but that doesn't really matter.
Okay then. Olivia, if I have one thing and then another thing.
No, don't bother with that. I've already tried.
Well, I'm not sure how else I can prove something so obvious.
Everyone always says obvious. I don't think you can. You can't prove something that isn't true. I mean, all the textbooks are filled with the thing, and the thing is wrong.
What? So all the mathematicians have got everything wrong, you're saying?
No, not that. They know that it's actually 3, but they've been covering it up, and the government have been helping them.
Olivia, it's not like 1 + 1 being 2 is a new concept. That's been around since man could count. I mean, think of Roman numerals.
But that was a long time ago. They weren't as smart as us.
Yeah, but my point is that the Roman government couldn't have been in on this same conspiracy.
It doesn't matter. They didn't have proof, and neither does anyone today.
Well, I'm sure I could find one if I searched for it.
Yeah, but if you don't have it now, then so what if you have it later?
Do you have proof?
Not on me, but I'm sure somebody does.
Phoebe, you look confused.
well, I sort of am. It's just that none of this seems to be going anywhere. Everyone's just denying what the other person says.
Well, that's because they're not willing to listen to me.
Olivia, it sounds like there's a very good reason that you didn't do maths. The idea that 1 + 1 is the most basic axiom in the world. If it wasn't true, then the whole of society would collapse. Computers wouldn't run, and the world time system would fall apart, among other things. But now, sorry, if you excuse me, I have to get to a lecture.
She has got a point. The entire world is based off 1 + 1 being 2. And I mean, if it wasn't, how come everything runs just fine?
Well, of course she'd say that.
Pardon?
Don't you see? She's a shill. She's just saying those things because she has to, not because she believes them. No mathematician really believes what they say. They just do it to cover up.
Olivia, what? Where are you getting this?
This whole thing was pointless. I didn't hear one valid argument.
You know what, Olivia? I agree with you on that. This is pointless. I don't know why I try.
Why don't you just accept it? 1 + 1 is 3. Deal with it.
No, it isn't. You are an idiot.
Why are you being so aggressive? I'm just providing an alternative viewpoint and you're just insulting me. Do you believe everything you're told?
No? Do you not believe anything you're told?
Don't be stupid. Unlike you, I recognize that you have to question and be skeptical of everything.
Even your own theory? Even that Madeline girl?
Well, no, she doesn't make mistakes. But I bet you think all those mathematicians are perfect. I bet your maths lecturers make mistakes.
Yes, sometimes we all do. But when that happens, we recognise it and we correct it.
Yeah. It's at this point you're just saying anything to defend yourself. Phoebe?
Just leave it, Phoebe. There's no point trying to get through to her.
Well, never mind then. Oh, a message. What's this? Invitation to debate.
Hello, Olivia. My name is Melody Anderson. I'm a local journalist. I've heard a lot about this 1 + 1 = 3 theory, and I've been looking into it for some time. I'm setting up a live debate between both sides of the argument, and seeing as you seem to be a well-known proponent, I'd like to formally invite you to participate. Message me back for further details if you're interested.
Well, this is new. Hi, Melody. I'm intrigued. What kind of a debate is this, and when?
Hi, Olivia. Thanks for getting back to me. I plan to host it in a couple of weeks' time. It'll be an online debate. I'll record it and publish it to my website and to YouTube. I'm also writing an accompanying article.
Sounds interesting. Who will I be up against?
Not 100% sure at the moment, but it'll be someone with experience in the old maths system.
Well, sounds interesting regardless. I'd be up for that, sure.
Brilliant. I'll message you closer to the time then. See you then.
Hey, Rose.
Yeah?
You got a pen and paper I can borrow? I just need to make some notes.
What for?
Well, I just got invited to a debate to do with that website I showed you.
What, that conspiracy website?
Not a conspiracy.
Whatever, for that site.
Yeah.
You're doing a genuine debate that's going to be published.
Yes. What?
Well, is that a good idea?
What's wrong?
You're going to be saying that stuff publicly on the internet.
Well, yeah.
And you don't think that's a problem?
Well, not if what I'm saying is the truth.
But who knows who could see that? What if your parents see it?
Hey, you thought this was a joke a few days ago.
Well, joke or not, what if some employer sees that? What are they going to think?
I don't really care. This is a great opportunity to show what I believe.
But you...
It's my choice, Rose.
Yeah, it is.
So can I have that pen and paper?
Just use words.
Another message. Wait, Madeline?
Olivia, I've been watching your videos for a while and you've really impressed me with your dedication and enthusiasm. You're clearly an intelligent individual and I'd like to talk with you further. Message me back if you so wish.
Madeline, I am a huge fan. Thank you so much. In all honesty, you were the one who first opened my eyes to this community, as well as inspiring me to make these videos. I would love to make contact.
That's great to hear. It's also nice to know that I've drawn in people like you. A lot of us tend to stick together, so if you ever want to collaborate, just ask. You can consider yourself truly part of the community.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I'd love to do that sometime. Actually, something's come up already.
Oh, what is it?
I was recently invited to a debate with a local reporter.
Debate.
Yeah, she said she was going to get someone knowledgeable about old maths and put on a debate online.
Is that so? Well, that sounds like a great opportunity, Olivia. Do you want to discuss it with me or a few of us?
Yeah, since she said I was part of the community, that would be great. We could talk about what I might say.
Well, that's not a bad idea. I'll get some of us together and we can have a Zoom call to discuss it. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Brilliant.
Hey, Rose.
Yeah, Olivia?
just a heads up, I'm going to be having a really important meeting soon and I cannot be disturbed.
An important meeting? Is this for your conspiracy group as well?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
We're just discussing what I'm going to say in that debate.
How many other people think this is real?
It is real, Rose. This isn't a joke.
How could this possibly be real?
Well, watch the debate and you'll see for yourself. You shouldn't just laugh at things that are new to you.
Maybe, but I kind of feel like I have more important things to worry about.
No, you don't get it. This is incredibly important. It's the exposing of centuries of lies that have been fed to us.
Right. You said you didn't want to be disturbed?
Yes.
Okay then.
Okay, Olivia, I've got some of us together. They'll be here in a second.
Brilliant. Thanks, Madeline.
Oh, you can call me Maddie.
Okay. Thanks, Maddie.
Olivia, you remember Aubrey and Taylor, right?
Yeah. Hi, girls.
Hey, Olivia.
Hey, well done on being invited to a debate. I almost never get that these days.
Thanks.
Oh, and I also saw your recent video on fluid dynamics. I agree, it's an insane mess of falsehoods, but you could have mentioned that you can't even apply maths to it. Water exists in a way completely outside of mathematics. But other than that, great video.
Thank you.
So guys, what do you think Olivia should talk about? Personally, I think you should stick to what you've covered in your vlogs already, Olivia. You seem to know that stuff pretty well.
Yeah, I think that's all well and good, but there's a lot of it. I think I should stick to the more major stuff that's hard-hitting rather than bringing up the fringe stuff.
Yeah, but the fringe stuff is where the Tudor argument falls apart the most. I mean, if you bring up matrices, I bet whoever you're debating will crack.
Yeah, but I don't know much about matrices.
Yeah, and why should you? It's their bullshit belief. You don't want to play too much on their home turf. They're going to try and make you look stupid by bringing up big and convoluted stuff that's all just for show. You need to have a good defense.
I suppose that's a good point. But on the other hand, I don't want to do too much defense. A good balance will be key, I think.
Yeah, no, I wasn't suggesting you be defensive all the time. No, I mean, push hard on them. They're going to try and be all objective, so push back on them. Show them that their insults can be thrown right back in their face.
What do we mean, insults? This is going to be a debate, not an argument.
Yeah, but you know how self-righteous they are. They're bound to try and tell you that you're just objectively wrong. And when they do, just tell them the same thing right back in their face. They'll be struck.
Maybe. What if they do the 2-pen trick?
Oh, that? Well, you could just bring up their background.
How so?
Well, if it's a mathematician of some sort, they're bound to have some connection to the government or big number. You bring all that up and their proof becomes totally discredited.
Big number. Taylor, don't go bringing the stock markets up again.
What? 2008 was plain and clear evidence.
Look, maybe we shouldn't push the conspiracy part too hard. We don't want to look insane, and I don't think Olivia would want to either.
But the conspiracy is one of the most fundamental parts. We can't just leave it out.
Well, actually, I kind of agree with Maddie. I don't think I should talk about too much extreme stuff.
What do you mean, extreme stuff?
He means your topics, Taylor. Your batshit stuff about Fermat and Wiles and matrices.
Oh, you're going to start laughing at me now. Just because you can't understand some of the deeper parts of the lie. I thought we were all about freedom of speech.
Taylor, some of that stuff is whack and you know it. Every year you go deeper down that rabbit hole, bringing up more and more weird stuff that goes way off course. Matrices, stock market fraud, water physics is alien. What's next? You're going to say 2 + 2 is 5?
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Girls, calm down. We shouldn't argue amongst ourselves. That's what they want. We have to stay united.
Well, so do they. Or at least they have to appear to. I wonder.
Yes, well, regardless, let's sum it up here. Want to go for a balance of defence and offence. Discredit them through their connections, but don't push the conspiracy too much. Bring up our facts and have some ready to disprove theirs. And oh, you can play the victim a bit, Olivia, but don't be too intolerable. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I think that'll work. I might write up some kind of script in preparation. That should be good enough.
I agree. Well, thanks for coming, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, girls. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, no worries. And contact us if you want any more advice on anything. Or maybe you want more topics to bring up.
I'll keep that in mind. Thanks again. Bye.
Hello, Harrington. Great to have you.
Yes, good to be here, I guess. Do you know when they're going to be here?
No, I'll send them the invite again. Hold on. Ah, Olivia, glad you could join us.
Good to be here.
Olivia.
Herring, I'm debating you.
Oh, do you two already know each other?
Yeah, I go to the uni that she works at. She lectures some of my friends, don't you, Herring?
Yes, I do. Me and Olivia have discussed this topic before.
That's right.
I didn't know you were this into it, Olivia.
Well, the same to you.
Oh, well, after we had that talk, I did some more research into it online. I genuinely would have never thought it was real until I talked to you.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
I'm not sure that's a thank you. Regardless, I've been looking into it ever since, and it's fascinating, Olivia. Truly fascinating. Completely wrong, for sure, but fascinating.
I would have thought that as you've researched it more, you would have come to realise it.
Or did you now?
Okay, guys, it's great that you're catching up, but we really should get on with the actual debate. Are you both ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, record and we're starting. Hello everyone, I'm Melody. Today we're hosting our live debate on the topic of 1+1. On one side we have Dr. Harrington, University Maths lecturer of 17 years with a PhD in enumerative combinatorics, arguing that 1+1 is 2. On the other side we have Olivia, leading YouTuber, arguing that 1+1 is 3. Thank you for joining us, both of you.
No worries.
Good for you to have us.
Okay, so I'll start with you, Dr. Harrington. What do you have to say in defence of the idea that 1+1 is 2?
Well, first off, I would question why we're even having a debate about this. In mathematics, with something so simple as addition, there are no two ways about it. 1+1 is objectively 2, and no other answers are correct.
Well, that's all well and good, but we should really hear from the other side of the argument. Olivia?
What she essentially just said was, I'm right and you're wrong, which is just shutting down free discussion. How can we debate when mathematicians are so objective?
You can't.
And what's more, what she said about there being no two ways about it, that isn't even true. Like, you can do 3 times 4, but you can also do 4 times 3.
That's the same thing.
Can you prove that?
Yes, that's the commutative law.
Well, I'm afraid we don't have time for any full-on proofs. We don't want to get bogged down with too many numbers.
Well, even so, I know for a fact that it's not the case with matrices. I've read it in your own textbooks. AB is not BA, so clearly your clever little commuting law doesn't fit.
Olivia, that's a completely different area of mathematics.
Oh, so you're admitting that maths is inconsistent.
Okay, let's move on to a different topic. Olivia, am I right in saying that there's a large conspiracy theory attached to this maths theory?
Well, I wouldn't call it a conspiracy theory. I mean, it has actual evidence. But yes, we all know that the truth is being hidden from the masses and that the government is helping out.
And what is this evidence?
Well, it's just logical deduction. Since 1+1 is 3, and the mathematicians are preaching something that's untrue, it makes sense that it's part of a cover-up.
But what kind of physical evidence is there other than just deduction?
This isn't really relevant to the debate. We should be talking about the maths.
No, Olivia, I think you should continue. What solid physical evidence do you have for this big cover-up lie funded by the deep state?
Well, I mean, you're just framing it as being ridiculous like that. There's genuine evidence, especially historical, that there's been a cover-up put in place.
Like what, Olivia?
Like the immense bias on Wikipedia.
The what?
Yeah, Wikipedia is incredibly biased against our theory, as well as others. The people who run it, the people who claim to be experts, they don't let any alternative ideas onto the site. They just delete them as soon as they get on there. If that is not evidence enough that there's an organised crime and campaign set up to silence us, then I don't know what is.
Do you have anything to say to that, Dr. Harrington?
No, not really.
Well then, do either of you have any other topics you want to bring up?
Yes, actually, I just wanted to talk briefly about maths throughout history. Since clearly this maths conspiracy has been skillfully perpetuated for centuries, whilst simultaneously unable to do 1 + 1 correctly, I'd like people to consider even further back.
Such as?
Think of the Romans. Think of Roman numerals. The Roman numeral for 1 is I, and the Roman numeral for 2 is 2 I's. Well,
that doesn't really prove anything. It just proves that the Romans got it wrong as well.
Well, if the Romans got it wrong, then how could their engineering be so good? How could their bridges last thousands of years if they couldn't even add up?
You don't really need maths to do engineering, as long as you know what you're doing.
That's ridiculous.
The Romans just had a lot of practice. I mean, no one hears about all the bridges that fell down because they tried to do 1 + 1 = 2.
What? There are none.
Well, there are. We just don't hear about them because it's been covered up.
Covered up? What are you insinuating?
I'm just saying, mathematicians produce a lot of textbooks, and a lot of topics are apparently in these textbooks. So if a lot of the things in school are under their influence and they have these strong links to the companies producing the textbooks, well, you know.
No, I don't know, Olivia. Please explain.
Oh, I think the people watching can figure it out themselves. Consider it a clue.
God.
So, anything else you guys want to discuss before we wrap up?
Actually, yes, I do. I just want to present this simple proof. No numbers included. If I have one thing and then another thing, and I put them together, what do I have? 2 things. 1 + 1 = 2. Can you deny this?
I could deny that it's from a reliable source.
What?
Well, you're a mathematician. Therefore, you'd be willing to say anything to support your argument because you have to.
Again, what are you implying?
You have a maths doctorate, right?
Yes?
Right. So you've spent years of your life learning according to the idea that 1 + 1 is 2. You've done research according to it. You've taught according to it. With so much time spent under a lie, you wouldn't want to admit it. So you're just going to keep saying anything to keep up appearances.
Every time I think I found the most insane thing in your theory, you come up with something else. That doesn't even disprove what I've just shown you.
Yes, but I don't need to if I can't trust you.
Well, then I suppose I'm doing this more for the audience than I am for you, Olivia.
Okay, I believe that's all the time we have for now. Thank you both for coming. We've had a good opportunity to listen to both sides of the debate. Thank you to Dr. Harrington and thank you to Olivia for coming along. And thank you all for watching. I'm Melody Anderson and you can follow me on my blog and stop. Well, I think that went pretty well, don't you?
Suppose.
Hey guys.
Hey, Olivia.
Nice debate you had yesterday, Olivia.
Thanks.
I suppose because I'm learning to be a mathematician as well. That means you think I've been enlisted in some sort of global conspiracy that only you and your gang of YouTubers can uncover, huh?
How long have you been planning to say that?
Guys.
How long have you spent researching even the slightest of Herring's background before you accuse her of being a lifelong liar?
Guys.
How long have you spent thinking about how these people you barely know personally might have a lot more going on?
Guys, not now. Can't we just hang out without immediately getting at each other? It just seems like this is all we talk about every time we meet.
It's not my fault it's consumed her life, not to mention her sanity.
Sanity. Oh, that is rich.
Guys, enough. I don't know, can't we just talk about U2's newest album or something?
So you mean you three?
Okay, now you're just being stupid.
Damn it, what even happened to you two? You found all this funny just a few months ago.
Yeah, we all laughed, but it's not funny anymore.
It never was.
And Olivia, all you wanted to do was to make us question, try and convince us back when you started this.
Well, that was before Em started treating me like an idiot. I realise there's no point with her now.
You know what, Olivia? I don't mind being a lost cause in your eyes.
Well, same to you.
You know what? Can't we just... Oh, whatever.
Hey, Phoebe, don't act like you're neutral in this. Whatever happened to you being on your way to discovering it too?
I don't know, Olivia. I'm still not sure.
How can you not be sure? Phoebe, you're not an idiot. You do a maths module. Has everything I've been telling you, everything Herring's taught us, fallen completely flat?
No, it's just...
How can you possibly have consideration for both sides? I mean, it's obvious.
Are you still going to pull that one? Still going for the it's obvious mantra when it clearly isn't? Still trying to out me as a prat? What do you have other than that?
Evidence?
What evidence? Nothing I've seen has been anyway true or convincing.
Well, when are you going to find me with some evidence?
I do. You're just never willing to look at it. You ignore it and claim it doesn't count.
You are so close to my point that you could just lean over and kiss it.
What?
You know what, Olivia? I promise I will find you the best, most perfect, most objective, completely undeniable piece of evidence that 1 + 1 is 2. And when I do, will you promise to drop this?
If what you give me is truly undeniable, then I'll have to, won't I?
Will you?
You know what, that is it. This is clearly more important to you. I'm just going to leave you to it.
No, you can't go. You've got to pick one.
No, not if it means having to pick one of you.
Well, nice job, Em.
Eh?
You're the one who told her to pick one.
I'm not the one who made up some bullshit other side and put it into her head.
More of this. What is wrong with you?
One piece of undeniable evidence. Yes?
If such a thing exists. And it doesn't involve 2 pens.
Fine. Is that really all you had to say?
Well, is it wrong?
Yes, it is. My God, you're unbearable.
Here's an idea. What if there's something in the taps in the water at schools that makes people more open to suggestion?
It's an interesting idea. I'm not so sure myself, but I don't want to tell you you're wrong. Maybe you can look into it more.
Did you hear? Tyson was making fun of the three theory the other day.
I'm sure he was.
Hey, I've just got to thank you for all these videos. It's really, really eye-opening, and especially about the cover-up.
You're welcome. It's great to know I've reached people.
It's amazing to see how much your videos have improved, Olivia. I'm sure any toother would be convinced if they watched you enough.
So am I. If only they could stop being so stubborn. The next video is going to be really big. Hey everyone! Today I want to talk about something exciting. I've discovered a maths conspiracy that goes back centuries. It turns out there was a bloke having a fight with Isaac Newton over who invented calculus, as they both claim to have done it. But here's the thing. I have never heard of this other guy, Leibniz. And this is because everyone, including Isaac Newton, shut him down and silenced him.
Olivia,
What is it, Rose?
are you busy?
Yes, I'm in the middle of something.
Oh, sorry. When you're done then.
As I was saying, I think there's more to this than what the maths history books tell us. I think Leibniz knew the truth. I think he knew that 1 + 1 was 3, and he was trying to expose the conspiracy. Newton and the maths elite had to silence him. Then they made up this whole debate about calculus to cover it up. Because the maths elite need to seem united. They have to give off this image that there's no other way of thinking so that everyone else will fall in line. This may just be the tip of the iceberg. I believe I'll find enough evidence to make a whole new video about this. Until then, stay quizzical, everyone.
You done?
Yeah,
Listen, Olivia, I know I was really dismissive of all your conspiracy stuff before, but now I'm actually a bit worried.
worried.
Yeah, see, I was looking a bit more, since then, I was looking a bit more at that forum you showed me. And Olivia, if you're looking at that stuff day to day, I kind of worry about what might be getting into your head.
Rose, it's not a problem. I'm not looking at any of the more extreme stuff.
No, but just any of it, Olivia. That stuff is dangerous.
Dangerous. You didn't believe any of this was real a few weeks ago.
Well, exactly.
I don't get it. Why do you think this is dangerous?
Well, I kind of think that stuff is giving you the wrong idea about the world. Not just the maths, but what it might make you think about other things surrounding it.
Like what?
Like people. It might make you think differently about people in ways that are, well, misguided.
Rose, don't lecture me on this. It's my choice. You're not going to fearmonger me.
I'm not. It's just, you might let people take advantage of you, of your lack of knowledge. You're listening to them because you don't know any better.
Hey, I'm not going to end up being manipulated. I'm not going to hurt myself if that's what you're worried about.
No, it's just, I'm just saying be careful. You could end up somewhere that's near impossible to get out of again.
Oh, a message. Oh, Maddie.
Afternoon, Olivia. I'm just contacting you to let you know about this big new project some of us have been setting up. Message me back if you want to know more.
Hey, Maddie. Of course I do. Don't tease me like that.
Well, a bunch of us have been organising a 1 + 1 = 3 convention, and seeing as you seem to be a big part of the community, I'd like to officially invite you.
A convention. That sounds great.
I think so too. There'll be discussion, merch, talks, presentations. You could do one if you'd like.
Sure, I'd love to. Where's it being held?
I'll send you the details later. It's £80 entry.
£80.
Well, we got to raise a fund somehow.
Okay, I'll get prepared. See you there.
See you.
Wow, a convention. This is going to be great.
What are you getting excited about, Olivia?
I just heard about a convention I want to go to.
Oh, video games.
No,
Comic books.
no.
What then?
1 + 1 is 3?
No,
What?
sorry, it's just what I was just saying, Olivia.
Well, what was I just saying? You can't tell me what to think.
I'm not, but it's not good for you, Olivia.
Huh?
It's not good for your mind.
Look, whatever. I'm not making you come with me. Just don't judge me about it.
Fine.
Olivia,
Yeah?
where are you going?
I'm going to a convention about the truth. You're welcome to come.
What, and be surrounded by people who can't add up?
No. Listen, I've been invited to speak and I think I have something to say that you'll find really interesting.
No, Olivia, look, I've been looking around and I think I've finally found that definitive proof I promised you. Here. This is a page from the book Principia Mathematica. It definitively proves that 1 + 1 is 2.
Oh my God, what is this?
I know it's a bit complex, but
Not a bit complex. How in the world can I begin to understand this? You give me some unintelligible gibberish and expect me to just give up my beliefs.
Olivia, this is one of the most important books in all of maths.
Important to the sheep, maybe. But even if I could understand this, how on earth could I trust it? I can't go through these calculations myself. I can never meet the guy who did them. These could have just been made up by the mathematicians as a last resort for people too close to finding the truth.
Yes, could, but
You're just trying to overwhelm me with jargon and symbols, so I look stupid. Do you have a paper that the average person could understand? In fact, do you have a paper that actually proves 1 + 1 isn't 3?
Olivia, that's what this is. You can't simplify it.
Well, then that is your problem.
Well, do you have a paper that it is?
What I am going to say at this convention will change everything. And I'd like you to be there.
No, Olivia. You're living in another world. It's obvious that your goalposts are on the moon or in some universe where 1 + 1 really is 3. I'm not going to bother with this anymore. You go to your convention and let's just promise never to speak of this again.
Fine by me. Well, we all have to make sacrifices.
Olivia,
Maddie,
it's good to finally see you in person.
it's great to meet you too.
Shall we? This way.
Wow.
Amazing, isn't it? Seeing so many people gathered here today under one cause. Have a look around, talk to people. The main event starts in half an hour. I'll see you there.
Sure, see you there.
Hey, Olivia.
Hey.
Hey girls.
I'm so glad you could make it.
Thanks. This is great. Maddie told me about it.
Yeah, I know. She's the one that organised most of this. Can't believe anyone would miss it.
And it's hard to believe the government didn't try to shut it down.
Oh, they couldn't. It would be too obvious with all this publicity.
Oh, by the way, Olivia, about that thing with Leibniz you talked about.
Yeah?
I have got to say that really got the forums going in the past week. Everyone keeps discussing it, and we've started to look for other examples of the same thing in history. I found this amazing thing about Tesla and Edison, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Actually, how come you're not on the forums a bit more often?
Well, I'm just so occupied with YouTube, you know?
Oh, Olivia, that reminds me. I just wanted to say, well done.
For what?
Well, that most recent thing you talked about in one of your blogs. You know, the argument you had with one of your tutor friends?
Oh, that.
The way you talked about standing against them was incredible.
Well, I was just staying true to what I know.
As should we all.
Excuse me, Ophelia.
Olivia.
Oh, of course, sorry, Olivia.
Melody, right?
Yes, I'm doing a report about the convention today. Would you mind doing a quick interview?
No, not at all.
Brilliant. Could you tell us what you do and why you believe that 1 + 1 is 3?
Well, I've been making a vlog series about my discoveries, and I'm aiming to chart my whole journey and hopefully help others with their own. I'm nothing special, really, just an humble, ordinary girl documenting my journey. But it's not all from me. I was inspired by Madeline Sampson. She's really been a leader to us all here.
And what would you say to those who don't agree, who think that 1 + 1 is 2?
I would tell them to open their minds. Don't let other people tell you what to think. Listen to us. You know, I guarantee that everyone watching at home knows at least one person who thinks 1 + 1 is 3. They just don't know it because these people are afraid to speak out.
Okay, thank you, Olivia. Are you speaking today?
Yes, I've got something really big to say.
Well, I'll see you there.
Oh, hello, Herring.
Oh, hello, Olivia. I was worried I might see you here.
Worried?
Well, I've gotten really into disproving your theory, and I thought, why not come to the biggest massing of it? I've only been here a few hours, but it seems to me that most of you are a hopeless case.
Of course you'd say that.
It's insane. That girl over there wants to write an album about this theory. That guy wants to start making his own line of textbooks and lobbying for them to be alternatives in schools.
Really? That actually sounds interesting.
No, it's never going to happen, Olivia. None of this is ever going to go anywhere.
Well, I think that the fact this convention is happening probably proves you wrong.
You'll never prove it, Olivia. You'll never be considered right.
Attention everyone, the main conference event is starting now, so please make your way into the hall. Coming up later, I'll be doing a talk on how to read between the facts, and Aubrey Jacobs will be doing a seminar on the rules of power and corruption. But here to introduce us all is the lady herself, Madeline Sampson.
Thank you, thank you. Well, first, I'd like to start by thanking everyone for being here. It's incredible to see so many people, and it really shows just how far we've come. At this rate, we'll have twice as many members this time next year. I should also point out that this event is being live streamed, so those who couldn't make it and those not yet convinced can listen in.
Yes, we most certainly can.
I thought I would open with something inspirational. In this world of uncertainty, it's comforting to know that everyone here has one thing in common, one thing we all agree on. Together, we are a force to be reckoned with, not to be ignored and not to be silenced. Together, we are stronger, and together, we shall reveal the truth. And now, to give her first speech of the day, is someone who has been putting a lot of effort into her research. Some of you may have watched her, but I'm sure all of you will be interested in what she has to say. Everyone, please welcome Olivia.
Oh, good God.
Well, thanks a lot for having me, everyone. It's a great honour to be here, and I honestly never imagined I'd make it this far when I first started. I want to tell you all something really exciting. You see, my research has reached a critical point, and I think I've finally, conclusively found an ultimate proof for 1 + 1 is 3. If you please. I promise you, that is it. What do you say to this, mathematicians?
It's nonsense, Olivia. It's just rubbish.
Now the maths elite have to listen to us. If they ignore this, then they are just being willfully ignorant. After all, these people are just sheep. We are the voice of the people, the silent majority. We are here and they will listen to us. What about all of you, hey? Do you believe that 1 + 1 = 3? Well, regardless, in the words of Mahatma Gandhi, even if you are a minority of one, the truth is still the truth.